Y'all know I wrote a book, right? It's called Buy a Game and it's free. Click the link down there, you got it.
DreAllDay.com.
What's up, everybody? Dre Baldwin with DreAllDay.com. This week's motivation, we're talking about the bar. And not the bar that you go and buy drinks at. We're talking about the bar that can either be raised or lowered as far as standards go. That's the type of bar we're talking about in this week's motivation. I'm going to tell you right off top what I mean by this. In any bar of standards that you have, when you lower the bar, that means you make it easier for people to meet the standards, whatever those standards happen to be. When a bar gets lowered, you're going to lose your good people. You lose your good people when you lower the bar. Why is that? Because imagine if you and I are part of some business group or some sports team, some group that we're a part of that we had to earn our way into. We had to put in this much time we had to pay our dues for this much time. We had to put in this much money. We had to show this much skill. We had to get this much education. We had to pass all these tests in order to get into this organization. The level of standards was up here. And you and I both did all the work. We got up here. We got over the level of standards. We got into this group. So we feel some value from being part of this group. Why? Because of all the time, money, attention, and energy we invested into getting to this level. We worked hard to get to that level. The bar was set at a certain point. We worked hard to get up over that bar and we earned our spot, right? Now imagine that the bar's here because we earned our way to be up here, but now all of a sudden they lower the bar. Now they make it easier for people to get in. Now you don't have to put in 5 years of work. You can get in by putting 1 year of work in. You don't have to invest $1,000 in taking this continuing education course or going to this training session. All you got to do is put in $10 and go to a one-day little seminar and you can get in. You don't have to be at an 80 level of skill in order to get into the organization anymore. You could be at a 25 level and you can get in. Now, how are we feeling? Now we see all these bums coming in, all these people who didn't put in the work we put in, didn't put in the time we put in. They can get in an organization that have the same level of status that we had 3 days ago because they lowered the bar. How are you and I going to feel now? We're going to feel like we wasted our time getting into this group in the first place. We put in all this work. We set ourselves as a high standard. Now anybody can get in. Now you don't even have to do anything. You don't have to have any skill whatsoever to get into this group. You don't have to have any game. You don't have to have any code of ethics. You don't have to have put in any work, paid any dues. You can get into the group. This group is worthless now. And what are we going to do? Us with we had to go all the way up here to get in. Now you only got to be down here to get in. What are we going to do? We're going to leave that group. We're going to go find us another group that has some high standards where the work that we have put in, you and I have put in, is actually worth something. Because in this group, where they lower the bar, is not worth anything anymore. So what happens? The people with the highest standards, you and I, we leave when the bar gets lowered. Everybody understand that? If you didn't understand that, rewind what I said. Now, what about when you raise the bar? What if the bar is set, you got to be at a level 80 of skill. You got to have put in 5 years of experience in order to get into our mastermind group. Level 80 of skill, you got to have 5 years experience. You got to be making at least $50 million a month in order to get into this group. So everybody here is in the group. These people are at this level, but all of a sudden they raise the bar. They say, okay, you can't be only having 5 years of experience and $50 million a month. You got to have 10 years of experience. You got to be making $100 million a month. What happens now? Now the people at the bottom level, all those people who are between 50 million and 100 million, 50 million and 99 million, they can't stay in the group anymore. They don't measure up anymore. The people who only have between 5 and 9 years of experience, they don't measure up anymore. They get dropped out. All of them get kicked out. Why? Because the standards got raised. Y'all understand what I'm saying here? So if you and I, we got 30 years of experience and we making $300 million each a month, we're good. We were good when the bar was here. We still good when the bar gets raised up here. The only thing that changes is the people who are at the bottom levels, they all get kicked out. Now, why am I telling you all of this? Why am I giving you these two scenarios? To let you know that in any organization, and whether that organization be just you, or the organization be you and a bunch of other people, maybe it's an organization that you set the standards, like your own life, you do set the standards for that, and I'm going to address that in a second. Or it's an organization that you joined and the standards were given to you, what the standards are in order for you to get in and to remain in this group. When you lower the bar, you lose the winners. When you raise the bar, you lose the losers. I'm going to repeat that, because you're going to lose something. Every time you make changes, you got to give something up. You heard of the phrase opportunity cost, right? In order to make changes in life, things got to be given up. It's not about always adding things. It's about letting go of things. When you lower the bar, that means you make it easier. You say, you know what, my standard's not that high anymore. I'm going to lower my standard a little bit. You got to give something up. All of your best stuff, your best people, your best work, all of that goes away when you lower the bar. Why? Because it's not valued anymore. You lower the bar means you don't value people who are all the way up here. You're valuing people who are all the way down here. So these people, they ain't gonna stick around. They being disrespected. They ain't sticking around. Me, you and I, we're not sticking around that group that lowered the bar after we did all that work to get in here. Now it don't mean nothing, we leave. Lower the bar, you lose winners. Now when you raise the bar, you know what you lose? You lose all the losers. You lose all the people at the bottom rungs. Y'all have heard the saying that you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. But what if the 5 people you spend the most time with look around, they look at you, and you are the worst performer out of everybody in the group? You know what they're going to do? They're going to kick you out of the group. Why? Because they need to raise the bar. They're going to find somebody who's doing better than them. So now that person helps raise the bar, and you at the bottom, you get kicked out because you're one of the losers in that group. Relatively speaking, you're the loser because you're the lowest level performing, the least achieved person in that group. So you got to make sure anything that you do in life, starting with yourself, not talking about anybody else, just talking about yourself, you got to focus on raising the bar, raising your standard for everything you do in life. And the more often you raise your standard, the more often you're going to get rid of the losing things, the losing ideas, the losing thoughts, the losing activities, the losing people who you may be hanging around, the losing habits that are causing your life to be what it is, because our life is only made up of our habits, and they come from our thoughts. They become our actions, they become our character, and they become our destiny. So make sure you're raising the bar in every single thing you do. And the more often you raise the bar, you get rid of all that losing stuff, and you ain't got no choice but to win. Because the game is being played whether you want it to or not. So have a great week and work on your game. DreAllDay.com.